And good morning, Kern County. It is 7 a.m. on this Monday morning. I'm Alex Fisher alongside Kevin Charette. It is after sunrise. And man, let's just start talking about this weekend. It was a really nice weekend.
Yeah, it was a nice weekend.
Weather
was great. Temperatures in the 80s yesterday. I was in Disneyland on Saturday.
Oh, you were?
It was a little warm, too. It was in the lower 80s. So.
I feel like, but 80 degrees at Disneyland could be very hot.
Well, yeah, you're walking around and
the asphalt's everywhere. Yeah.
So, but it was a nice day.
Yeah, I mean, I was out and about all day yesterday for the most part, and just the morning hours are kind of chilly, just like a little bit. My outfit yesterday morning was a sweatshirt and just shorts, and I was fine, but I needed that sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But by like 11 o'clock, I was like, I need to get rid of this thing because it really does warm up fast. But it's nice to have this is like the perfect weather for like a morning coffee outside. It's just great.
Yeah, because the air quality hasn't been too bad either, so that kind of makes it a little nicer, So, yeah, warmer temperatures and good air quality, can't beat it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's going to warm up later on this week, though.
Yeah, air quality not the best today, as the sun was coming up this morning. We could kind of see that haze out there, but over the weekend it wasn't too bad.
By the way, this is a good reminder, too, to get your ACs checked and tuned.
Yeah.
Before the heat turns on, because I mean you really can save your air conditioning unit if you just get it kind of regularly tuned.
Get it serviced, check your air filters. If you haven't checked those air filters in a while, make sure those are clean. Some people forget about them, but if they're not clean, it's more your AC has to work, which draws more power. And we know what our AC bills can get in the summer. And then can literally wear it out.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was a great weekend. So as you know, we had the Dancing with the Stars competition over the weekend. It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night fundraiser. It was a 3-night fundraiser, and it's all benefiting the Boys and Girls Clubs, the musical productions at Stars at the Phil Brandt. And, it's always so much fun. This is becoming such a big fundraiser that everyone gets involved with. We'll talk more about it in just a moment, but here's just kind of a look back at not only what we call the alumni performance, which I was in, and our assistant news director, Erica Garwal, was in as well. But then you have also a preview of the 10 competitors raising money for Stars. Take a look.
Everybody needed a nap after that.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny. You always forget how many calories you burn during dancing. So you saw us right there at the end. I was in the alumni number, and we're not competing. Last year I competed and for this fundraiser. This year it's just a bunch of fun. You go out there and kind of get the crowd warmed up. But we worked on that dance. So our dance was Dancing the Street by David Bowie McJagger, and it took us like 8 weeks, I think. It was the last 8 Saturdays that we spent an hour from 10 to 11 a.m. every Saturday working on this. And you know how like you start your Apple Watch and like it tracks calories. I was burning between 500 and 600 calories in just that 1 hour of dancing. And you forget that like dancing burns calories, and you don't even think about it. But there's obviously like all of those studies that show that dancing is one of the best forms of cardio.
Oh yeah, because
you can kind of keep going because there's that mental aspect of it as well.
Yep.
If you're putting on a good playlist, dance in the kitchen while you're cooking,
right.
and
that's
whatnot.
why you see, like, I know my grandparents did it for many years, square dancing and stuff like that.
That's another one. That is a big calorie burner.
A lot of older people just love square dancing, because it keeps them all limber. I mean, there's a lot to that. That's why my grandparents, did a lot of, everybody does. There's more than, just the older people doing square dancing. I'm just saying my grandparents loved to do the square dancing because it just kept them very active.
Have you ever done line dancing at the Crystal Palace?
No. Dancing's just not my thing in general, but but line dancing, that's another.
So I haven't either. I've done line dancing before at other venues and stuff. And what they do is that they teach you like a real small dance, and then it's just a thing to do. But I don't know how often they do it at the Crystal Palace anymore. But they used to do it all of the time, and it used to be like this big thing. And I'm like, that's such a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I can't keep in sync with where I'm supposed to be.
Well, I can't either, but I just have fun. So here's just a little bit more. Like you'll be able to look at the video. I mean, the what I've learned is a year ago when I didn't do this, or like I was not a dancer. I was very skeptical on dancing at all. But then what I have found over the years is you just have fun, and that's 90% of it is just like letting loose and just
take down all your ambitions or whatever.
Yeah, the things that could hold you back and
inhibitions.
Inhibitions, yeah.
Inhibitions.
And
your ambition is to dance.
Yeah. So I kind of how the song starts in like all the country. So I did Bakersfield. I added Bakersfield in there to get the crowd going. But it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was just another reminder of you can, as long as you can count to 4.
Right.
Oh, and 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 counts. You can really just have fun with it. And you see so there's Erica, center stage right there, our assistant news director here at 17 News. She was like our team leader in this. So she was the one, just straight up center stage. And she was actually my partner as well in the dance. But it was, she's just, leading us and giving us, reminding us that we need to be very energetic and kind of, you'll even see her sometimes at certain points of the dance. She was even telling us, like, you'll see her right here. Let's see her. So how she was yelling corner, like reminding us to do the certain, move and whatnot. And anyways, it's
her skills here at TV 17 translated to the dance floor.
Yeah,
where
they
she's
did.
Directing traffic here.
Yeah, literally. Quite literally. So it's a lot of fun. By the way, remember this is a fundraiser benefiting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County.
Look at David.
I know, David Torres. Oh yeah,
he's really into it.
He loves this this dance or this fundraiser because he totally gets into it.
Yeah.
And so it all benefits the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County. So they do a lot of musical productions at Stars, and they don't just do musicals there. They also have like kid workshops throughout the summer. So there's 3 performers. I can't remember. There's Seussical the musical, like a Disney Melody. I think the Disney Melody show is in July, I believe. And then I think Tarzan. So those are the kid shows, and it's great because these kids are. And that's our alumni group right there. So these are past contestants that we all come together. We're not raising money in this. We're just there to have fun and get the crowd on their feet. But
is that Robin Paggi?
Yeah, Robin Paggi. She was actually in the first year. And let me tell you, Robin is an incredible dancer. And she is someone who is like, she gets on, she's on the stage and she is just like, here's what we're doing. And a high energy. She is, it's just really cool because you have just people from all over the community come together and and do this. But like I said, we're raising money for these productions because, as you can imagine, it costs a lot of money too. So I'm part of the committee, and it is amazing how much money it takes to put these productions on. But what's so neat is the kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs. I know you know this, Kev, because you've done things with the Boys and Girls Clubs. But like, there's so much talent. Like Music Fusion,
Music Fusion is incredible.
Unbelievable. And we actually had, in the second act of this fundraiser each night, there was someone from Music Fusion who would always perform. So the first night was a Wicked rendition of
nice.
What Is This Feeling? So there was a kid Elphaba and a kid Glinda. And, I mean, I don't know, they're probably like
so the money
10 to 12. And then the next night was a Selena Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb song. That, as you can imagine, I mean, got everyone up out of their seat dancing.
So the money raised from this goes to the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, so they work because they use the theater for for a lot of their productions, and then they host their workshops and stuff, and it costs a lot of money to put those things together because there's the rights to these things and just opening the door, and then a lot of the productions throughout the year as well have kids from it's like an also an addition, like a lot, like when when I did Hairspray.
Yeah.
The kids in that show, Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County kids.
Gotcha. So the money raised goes to support stars and all the programs that they do and help outside the community.
Yes,
gotcha.
and the Boys and Girls Club, that's like one of their main venues that they use. And like I said, during the summer they use that venue because it's great. It's a great spot. But it's a lot of fun. But I got to tell you, like every time, speaking of the kids though, it's just another example of like the talent that we have in this community, like our young kids.
Yeah.
It's insane. It is insane what is out there. A lot of these kids are doing professional level work. And I'm not just talking about theater. I'm not talking about music in general. We have kids at the baseball field. Like, I mean, it is unbelievable. The talent that we have in our community. It is all around us.
Yeah, I always say if you give these kids or youth the tools they need, they can really flourish. Like baseball. We've had numerous Major League Baseball stars come out of Bakersfield because we have baseball facilities for them to be a part of.
You got to I think you hit it right on the head. Like you got to give them the tools.
You got to give them the tools and the support.
If they want it, don't, and obviously like don't push it, but like if they're given the opportunity to pursue their passion, then I mean, heck, they'll just flourish.
And I think you hit the nail on the head is, don't push them, let them engage.
Because I know you see parents push too.
I've had, this is actually a good example. A friend of mine, professional baseball player, son played baseball for many years, lost interest in it and wanted to do something a little different, wanted to race cars. And they had a sit down like, I wasn't expecting this. I thought my son was going to want to play professional baseball. Wasn't the case, but you know what? They didn't put themselves first. They put him first, and he started to do race cars and loves it and does a great job at it. So it's an indication of let our kids do what they want to do, let them try different things, and let them follow their own path.
Because then, I mean, that's when again they'll really flourish, and
when they really have a passion for it.
And there's so many different, we need different types of people, right? Like, I think, there's a lot of, like for example, like my dad, not just my dad, my aunt, his sister, and my grandpa, they were all amazing runners. Like they broke records. They did track through their time at CSUB and everything. As a matter of fact, my dad's running teacher or running coach was Jim White. He's the one, of course, McFarland USA. He's a staple out there in McFarland. He's absolutely incredible. But so at one point, I did track, and I was like, this is not my thing. I don't like running. I just don't like it. I can do it. I can actually, if I train, I can actually do a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I'm built like a runner. I hate it. I don't want to do it. And my dad's like, that's fine. You don't have to do it. I did swimming instead. I loved swimming. But yeah, it was just like it's not like I'm a swimmer anymore. But I'm just saying, back in the day. But I did. My parents were like, just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Like, try it, and if you hate it, then you know you hate it. You don't like it. Move on. Cross it off the list. Go on to something else.
Yeah.
You know, and so, so I think that's a really, really important.
Yeah.
So this is something that I found that was kind of interesting. So, you know, there's a lot of stress going on right now about, you know, finances and obviously the economy right now, Wall Street. Can we take a look at Wall Street, by the way? I mean, I'm talking to our director, Adam. I don't know if the big board is up right now.
And I think this has been on the market.
Oh, look at this.
Recovered.
Okay, this is,
a
I actually don't know.
Well, no.
I need to.
Is this real? Is this live?
No, this is live.
Okay.
But
it was down 1,200 points
yeah,
earlier.
I'm gonna hold on. We're doing a little news check here.
No, you're fine.
I'm gonna look and see why this is, because it at one point the Dow Jones was down 1,500 points.
Right. And this has been something that so many people have been watching. Hey, I've been watching myself. I mean, just last week, my savings deal that I had, investments, I lost 10% with the fluctuation of the market. So I think everybody who has some investments has been impacted by the drastic changes in the stock market. But so we have been technically watching it very close, as I'm sure a lot of people have. But yeah, this morning we were down about 1,500
We start at one point it was 1,500
as
points.
the market opened. And,
yeah, but now I'm trying to figure out what.
So right now it looks like down 500-600 points.
Yeah,
which is a dramatic
this
drop from
literally
where we
because this just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
what's causing?
Yeah, what's causing it? And as you can imagine.
And I'm sorry,
yeah.
I misspoke. The Dow is up now 5.
It's
I was
up.
saying,
It's
up,
up
not down.
almost
Sorry,
600 points. Yeah,
which is good to see.
But I'm trying to figure out. We'll look into this a little.
We'll
bit
look
more.
into it and see why we saw a drastic drop at the start. At down 1,500. Now we're up 6. So hey, we're not complaining. We're not complaining. That's for sure. But yeah,
so we'll keep an eye on that. But this is talking about a reversal.
right.
Here.
I wasn't expecting that when it popped up.
I mean, you can see something just happened that investors like to hear.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that because Wall Street. We've heard from our local financial advisors here that Wall Street is so emotional. So, I mean, that's how they describe it. They're so emotional that they'll be all over the place because anytime they see something. In the news, policy announcements, anything like that, it goes up and down, and it's all based on emotion. That's why sometimes.
That's why even the choices we make is based on emotion and what we see.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's reaction is different. My reaction to my losses are different than somebody else's. I made a shift in my stuff with the volatility that's going on the market right now. Others staying, like I have aunt and uncles that are in the stock market, they're staying steady. So it just depends on the person.
Yeah, but you can see it's rebounding. So we'll have an update today on 17 News at noon as well, because trading goes on until 1. But the reason why I talked about that is because, you did just mention, it's been up and it's been down, and obviously going up again. But there's just been a lot of stress out there. It's tax season. Everyone's concerned about the economy. People are kind of looking at their finances.
Yep.
Well, anyway, so there's all this added stress that people are. Everyone's been talking about the added stress. Well, so apparently Planet Fitness has this new plan or something during this stressful time of year.
What's the plan?
They're offering free hydro massage sessions to relieve pressure during the.
I think the hydro massage is where you get in and it's like you're in a bubble. I've seen it at.
Oh
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the water shoots down on the bubble on your back or whatever. I've seen them.
So here's what's interesting. It's being offered at every location across the U.S. and you do not need a membership.
Oh.
And it's going from April 12th, so not today. Mark your calendars, though, because today's what, April 7th? So April 12th, is that Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, April 12th to April 19th.
But wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of the folks there tried to talk to you about memberships.
Oh, I'm sure. Since you're...
It's free with a little bit of a talk.
Since you walked through the door. Hey,
and there's a new one going up right there by the Riverwalk.
A Planet Fitness?
Yep.
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah. That's right. You're totally right.
Mr.
That's
Carwash.
right on the opposite side of the like the front corner, right?
Yeah, it's where Raising Cane's is, Panda, all that.
What is it? That would be the
There's a Samco
southwest
right there.
corner?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, okay.
So there's a Samco and stuff right there.
Yeah.
They crammed it all right into that corner.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be built in time for that. But
I drove through there because I sometimes will go to the Samco there or whatever. And I'm always amazed because they put so many of these businesses there. And I'm thinking of Planet Fit, where are people going to park? There's no parking in that corner.
You know, the parking that's actually getting kind of crazy right now is the park at Riverwalk. Because there's so many great spots there.
It's beautiful.
It's well, and then of course this time of year it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But there's so many. I mean, I'm at the park at Riverwalk in that shopping center at least once a day. I'm not even joking because that's where I get my groceries.
Yeah.
You know, at Sprouts. So, you know, sometimes I get things at Target. Eureka is one of my favorite places there. Hang out there.
You have to
Yard
be careful
House
through
is
that
there.
parking lot.
Yeah, that's what
you
I'm
have to
saying.
Be very aware of what you're doing and when you're pulling out because it's packed.
It is packed, and there's just so much to do there. And of course, I'm there, and then you see everyone because it's like you get so much done there in that shopping center. But yeah, like Nordstrom's there, TJ Maxx is there.
My dream is as we continue to grow in Bakersfield and we build these little strip malls that we would spread out parking just a little bit. Because I don't even like going to some of these areas that you have to time the day because it's just impossible to get in and park. It's kind of a dangerous situation in some of these, areas where they've built so much, but very little parking space.
I can't remember what it is, but there's like
we're infamous.
Yeah, there's like there's that formula of like it's got to be.
Oh yeah, no, they're following the law, they're following the formulas, but I'm just saying it's nerve-wracking when I go into some of these shopping centers because there's so much business and it doesn't seem like there's enough parking or it's so tight.
I think, speaking of, you're going to roll your eyes at me here. Let me double check here.
And in a minute, we're going to talk about Honor Flight because that's also something I want everybody to be aware of coming up starting tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday because we've got a big group of veterans heading into Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that because I was actually talking to Lily Marsh this weekend. She was at Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, nice.
And
if you're not familiar with who Lily Marsh is, she's the founder of Honor Flight, and boy, what an incredible woman and all she's done for that organization.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
I wanted to check. So today is National Beer Day. And the reason why...
Why would I roll my eyes, Alex?
The reason why I know this is because Eureka is doing like that's one of my favorite...
I tease Alex because he's a beer connoisseur.
I like my beer,
beer.
But there's one of my favorite... the patio, because I know you like Eureka, and you go to Yard House too.
Yeah, there's patio.
By the way, Yard House is a good happy hour.
Oh, I go to their happy hour all the time.
I know. That's because we've seen each other multiple times at Yard House, so we like run into each other. We're like, hey, here for happy hour?
Yeah,
here for happy hour. No, but the patio though at Eureka, it's nice because it faces you get that afternoon sun.
Right.
And so now during the summer, it's like,
hot
get me inside. Heck. But right now, it's so nice because you get that afternoon sun and it's just like very pleasant for like an afternoon beer to sit there and like soak up the sun and then...
Do you like Eureka or do you like Yard House more for beer selection? Because both have good beer selection. I'm not a beer drinker, but
I like the
variety.
The selection, as you know, the selection is bigger at Yard House.
Right.
But
local
beer though is more at Eureka.
Gotcha.
But the other thing too is we've got so many great breweries around here. I'll just hang out there.
Yeah.
So, but. Let's talk about. So this is your last day in studio for a while.
It will be my last day in studio.
You're
for
about
a little
to take to the skies.
So guess who's going to be doing weather for me? This man right here.
And Maddie.
And Maddie. They're gonna tag team weather starting tomorrow because we are going on Honor Flight 51. This is such a joy, and from the first time I went, I was hooked because I was able to see what an impact Honor Flight does for these veterans in Kern County. They get to go back to Washington, D.C. It's a whirlwind tour, though. We leave tomorrow right around 9 in the morning. We're going to have a live report for you at right around 6:40 from the airport, and then we will catch a private flight to D.C.
I love that these are now private flights because so many people have put the financial backing behind these vets to allow them to go.
And it makes it so much easier on the vets. And
Yeah.
so then we will land tomorrow night. We just go straight to the airport, and then we get up bright and early on Wednesday, and we are hitting all of the memorials in D.C. for our veterans, from the World War II Memorial to the Korean War Memorial. We're going to go to the Capitol, so our veterans are going to get to tour all of Washington, D.C. in that Wednesday and Thursday time frame. So very exciting time, and we will be bringing it live to you once again right here on Sunrise, whether it be on the bus as we're going to the next location. Again, I tell our producer it's very fluid because I never know where I'm going to be when we need to come live with you guys.
And it's a strict schedule.
It is a strict schedule. They don't wait for me. So you may see me on a bus, you may see me walking down a path, but it's, I think, important that family members and friends get to see their loved ones as they get to experience it firsthand. Because
is this your fifth one?
This will be my fourth one.
Fourth one?
I was at 49, 50, 51. Yeah, I think this is my fourth. I'll have to ask Lily. You lose track.
Well, so what? I mean, since you've done multiple honor flights, what is the most impactful moment, would you say?
I would say the most impactful moment is probably
like, is that like as a spectator, like you're a spectator, kind of like looking, you know?
The appreciation in these veterans' eyes as we go throughout Washington, D.C. I think they have an expectation, and then when they get there, all expectations are put to the side because they're just amazed that these memorials were built for them. And probably the most emotional memorial to go to is the Vietnam Memorial. And we have a lot of Vietnam vets going with us. And to see them go to the wall, and for some of them, this is a bucket list item for them, to be able to go to that wall and find their comrade that maybe they lost, but were never able to get to DC. And you see them take their pencil and their piece of paper and carve out the name of their buddy.
You know, that Vietnam memorial is very impactful. I mean, as you know, because
it's quiet.
And even like the architecture of it, about how, I mean, it's very impactful. It is technically below ground, right? Meaning that it's, you know, kind of a dark stain on our country's history. And as all of the memorials around there are on that, you know, that stone, that white stone, that memorial is black granite.
Right.
And I think it's black granite. Anyways, and it's very symbolic of, you know, how we as a country treated our Vietnam vets when they came back.
Well, that's the other thing. When I interview them, I talk to them about, well, first off, this is a very important month because this will celebrate 50 years since the Vietnam War ended. So, you know, April's a very...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So April's a very important, you know, year for these veterans. So I'll be...
This month specifically.
For April. Yeah. So, and so it'll be interesting to talk with them about what this trip really means to them in terms of, you know, this being an anniversary month. But yeah, it's just incredible to walk next to them and be a part of it and tell their story, because that's really what I'm doing. I'm telling their story. And sometimes it's hard for me as a journalist, you know, weatherman journalist, because I don't like to put a camera in their face or whatever like that. But after talking with them, they're fine with me getting that camera and talking with them and letting them show their emotions. It's part of their healing, they have told me in the past, to be able to tell
their story told.
Yes, exactly. And especially our Vietnam vets, because they weren't really able to tell their story when they came back. They were not respected when they came back from Vietnam.
There was that project that was done years ago on getting all the World War II vets to sit in front of camera and share their stories, because unfortunately, once they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone, and there's not many remaining.
And you know, lot of great stories from World War II vets, but you know, the Vietnam vets, they had a hard time, you know, even discussing what they saw and what happened.
And that'll be one of the memorials we go to. We will go to the World War II Memorial, we'll be going to the Lincoln Memorial, we'll be going to the Vietnam Memorial, so it is packed in there. So we will be on the move starting Wednesday morning on Sunrise through Thursday, and then we end out our journey, to be honest with you, at Fort McHenry. And I didn't know much about it until I really toured the grounds, and that is a place of history. So if you've never looked at Fort McHenry, very pivotal point and spot for American history as well.
All right. Well, enjoy the trip. Look forward to your reports. Thanks so much for joining us for After Sunrise. We will be back tomorrow morning on 17 News for Sunrise at 5 to 7 a.m. And then we'll be back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. on KGTT.com. See ya.